Okay, I see we are now 8 people. We are going to begin. We are going to be live on Facebook and YouTube, so we need to be active and attentive as many people are watching us. So welcome to these online lessons. You are all welcome.
Thank you.
You are welcome to this online lesson. I'm Teacher Kakuru Benard, who is going to take you through this afternoon lesson. This lesson is brought to you by Yaaka Digital Network and Educare, where you can access online learning and the rest of the services, as we shall see at the end of the lesson. So let's get started. So today we want to look at the introduction to computer software. I know you have interacted with software, but let's first watch this video and see what a software is made and everything to get us started.
Hello?
What?
A computer program, otherwise known as software, is made up of ones and zeros. This is known as binary, and it is the only thing that the computer understands. So how do we get from an idea to the finished software? Writing the binary yourself would be slow, tedious, and take way too long. Instead, we'll use something called source code. Source code is the instructions to the computer that is meant to be human readable, with a little practice, that is. Source code can be written in one of many different programming languages. These are the main ones in use today. Here's a very simple program written in a programming language called C++. This program simply displays the words "Hello World" to the computer screen. In order for the computer to actually run the program, the source code must be turned into binary. This process is called compiling. Once we have our ones and zeros, the computer can then run the program. If there are any mistakes in the source code, such as a misspelled word or missing punctuation mark, the compile will fail and you won't be able to run the software. Simple programs can be written by one developer in a reasonable amount of time. However, professional software may involve hundreds of developers and take a matter of years to complete. A large software project like this would be split up into hundreds or even thousands of files. Being able to collaborate is essential for their success. One concept that allows them to do so is called revision control. Here's how it works. All the source code for the software is stored on a server. Each developer stores a copy of these files on their machine. They can then make changes to one or more files and then submit those changes to the server when they are ready. The server stores a detailed list of what files were changed, what those changes were, and who submitted it. If at any time the program gets into a bad state, the developers can undo the changes until the program is working correctly again. Software developers try hard, but there are always a few problems with the code. We call these problems bugs. Even after a piece of software is released to the public, the software developers must continue to fix bugs and further improve the software. This is why software has updates or new versions that come out periodically. Software can be created in two different ways. The most common is proprietary. The software is owned by a person or company and sold to make money. The source code is not released to the public, only the finished product is. Anyone wanting to change the software will have a difficult time without the source code. The second approach is called open source. This usually means the program is free and that anyone can get access to the source code. You might be surprised to learn that many of the programs you already use are also open source. Many times the developers are volunteers who are passionate about the software they are creating. Oftentimes, they don't even get paid. The software may be free, but keep in mind that donations are rarely turned away.
Okay, can we share some lessons that we learned from the video? Yes, let's share some lessons that we learned from the video. Hello, can you hear me? Unmute yourself and speak. Yes, unmute and tell us what you learned from the video. I'm waiting.
For me, I noted that these softwares are created by people and are sold to make money.
Okay. Another one?
Teacher,
Yes.
for me, I learned that in making a software,
Yes.
that it only uses binary code.
Yes, it uses binary code. That's wonderful. Another one? Another one? Yes. At least each of us should contribute. I've so far heard from Elton. Come on, 15. Can I know your names?
Matthew Blair.
Brea.
Yes.
Your Brea Matthew. Yes, can I have? Yes, let me hear from another one. Kusima. Par, can you talk to us? Rachel, you need to say something from what you watched from the video, and we go on. Yes, members, let's contribute and we'll proceed. Kusima, I can't hear you.
Open source software is software made for the use of everyone with no cost.
Okay. Another person? Thank you, Kusima. Hello. Patience, can you say something? Okay, so I think others don't need to speak. We can proceed. Let me share my screen again. Okay, those who didn't want to tell me some answers, at least you can read this slide, Introduction to Computer Software. Who can take us through this slide? You can read for us. Who is ready? Yes, Elton.
Introduction to computer software. The usefulness of computer hardware depends a lot of available software and the ability of users to evaluate, monitor, and control that software. Computer software refers to the set there is some black screen.
Okay. Sorry
Computer
about that.
software refers to the set electronic instructions and procedures that control the operation of a computer.
Yes, from the video that we saw, it was almost elaborating what we are reading here. So basically, a computer software refers to a set of electronic instructions, procedures that control the operation of a computer. It directs the hardware, in other words. Okay. Another person? Some other person? Not Elton?
Sure.
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on, Blair.
So there's a black screen. I can't read properly.
Sure. All of us are seeing the black screen?
Yes.
Let me share again. How of now?
Can see.
Okay, take us through the slide.
There are two major types of software: system software and application software. Each of them performs a different function. System software includes the operating system, manage and coordinate all the other computer programs, devices, resources, and activities. Application software is the one that solves the specific needs of the user. These include word processor, paint, calculator, and games.
Okay, that's wonderful. We have heard from Blair. We are looking at the categories of computer software that it is grouped into two: system and application software. For the part of system software, this is basically the main part of the software, because for it, it has software to do with operating systems, it has to do with utility programs, it has to do with programming languages. All these perform different tasks. For example, operating system manage and coordinates all other computer programs, devices, resources, and activities. If you have a computer, you have a phone, and you don't have an operating system there, it is not going to work. We have very many types of operating systems. For example, computers, they use Windows, they use Linux, they use Ubuntu, they use Mac OS. Then for phones, we have phones which use Windows, other phones are Android-based, other phones are Symbian. So there are very many types of operating system to help these gadgets work, both computers, phones, and other devices, for example, those in banks at the ATM and the rest. Then application software. After having an operating system, you need a software that will help you to use that computer. For example, application software, including word processor. That means that if you have an operating system and you don't have a word processor there, you won't be able to type a letter, you won't be able to type other documents. So you need other programs to help the system software work. You get the point?
Yes.
Yes, it's like if you can buy a bed. So you have bought a bed, yes. But do you have a mattress? If you buy a mattress, have you put bed covers and bed sheets? That's how a computer should work, so that it functions well. Then it is also like you as a human being. You find that if you don't have ears, you may not function well, you as a human being. If you lack one leg, you won't move well. So that's how a computer also functions. Together? Okay, we move to the next slide. So we have the types and classification of computer software, and here they are. So you find that as we have grouped it into two, we are saying that we have software as the main part. It is grouped into two: application and then system software. Application is further divided into these ones. We have general purpose, special purpose, and then the bespoke, or call them customized softwares, the ones that a client will come and say, please, I have a supermarket. Can you design for me a software that I can use for my supermarket? Please, I have a hotel. I need a software that will do A, B, C, D. Those softwares lie there. You get that?
Yeah.
Then this part of system software, we have library programs, we have translators. These are for programming, utility programs, operating systems. So under translators, they are also grouped in 2, 2, 3, compilers, interpreters, assemblers. So as we move forward there, we are going to see in detail programming, which program are we going to use. So for those who will continue with us, we shall do programming, the real practical programming. We develop applications, like we normally download apps from Play Store, right? So we shall see how to develop such apps and come up with one. And I think towards the end of the lesson, we can see one of the software and how it works. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, let's proceed. So we have characteristics of a good software. Can I have someone who hasn't read take us through this slide as I explain? You read one point, I explain it. You read another one, I explain it. Or you read one, another one can also explain it.
Yes.
Yes, Bridget. Bridget, are you ready to read?
Yes.
Okay, read.
Does it provide the required functionality?
Okay. So here, this kind of software, you must ensure that the software you are buying or that kind of software you are going to make, does it provide the right functionality? Is it going to work in the supermarket and the buyer or the client sees that it is really doing its part? Okay. Next point.
Reliable, dependable, and predictable.
Yes. Now, for example, some of you have touched computers, you have used the softwares like Microsoft Word. You are sure that you are going to rely on Microsoft Word to make documents, to make letters, all those, and at least you know that you can depend on it, you save, you can also know that if you can know that I can now create a Word document and turn it into a PDF, you are predicting what you can use with that kind of software. It is reliable, it has no errors, you can depend on it to do your office work, and you can predict other features that you can use with it. You know that you can draw features, images there, you can convert it into PDF and the rest. Next point.
It can be easy.
Okay, go on.
It can be easily maintained and updated.
Okay, like you have seen.
It can be easily
Yeah, I've heard that.
maintained and updated.
You have seen people saying that I want internet to update my phone. I want internet to update some programs on my computer. That is one of the characteristics of a good software. In the other video, you saw that you need to always update so that to remove some errors that were in the former software that you were using. Okay? Members, are we together?
Yes.
Yes, read another point.
Yes.
Someone else can read another point.
Provides an appropriate user interface.
Okay, so an interface. We have very many interfaces. I mean, we have at least 3 interfaces. We have graphical user interface, command line interface. We also have menu-driven interface. So with graphical user interface, this is where you interact with that gadget or that computer, that operating system, that software by tapping on icons. For example, on phone, you normally see apps. On computers, you know where to click to go. All those are apps, icons, and the rest. So a good software should have a good user interface or an appropriate interface that tells me that when I click here, I will close. When I click here, I will minimize. When I click here, something like that. Appropriate user interface. Okay, next point. Someone else, if Bridget is tired.
So it wasn't me reading, it was someone
Okay.
else.
Then you can read.
It is accompanied by complete documentation.
Yes. Have you seen what we call the user manuals or user guides? When you buy, let's say, a new phone in its own packaging, you normally find a document or a guide to help you on how you will use that phone. When you buy a TV, anything you buy that is new and has that document or a user guide. Same applies to software. When you make a software, you need to make a document that will guide the users. And that's what we call a complete documentation. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes.
Then we have a point can be easily customized, stroke configured. So this point is that you can make a software and leave some room in case a client requests to add some features. Maybe it is a school management software where we put students, their home districts, their parents, their what, and then a school comes in and says, but please, for us, we even want to record those who leave school, and your software doesn't have that. We need also to record the school leavers. So your software should be easily customized and add that feature. Then it should be easy for users. You don't need to make complicated programs. People need easy life, so don't complicate your softwares, otherwise you will lack market. Then it has a lifetime measured in years. So you can make a software and say, this software will work for 5 years, will work for 10 years. You must give it lifetime. Otherwise, no software, you say it will last 1,000 years. It must be, it must have a lifetime. So then here, we have what the consumer wants and what the developer wants. So can I have a consumer and a developer amongst you? One of them is going to be a consumer, another one is going to be a producer. A consumer is that person who is going to buy the software. So we can have a consumer reading a point, then also the producer reading a point. Who is the consumer? Yes, that is who? Speak your name.
Blair.
Blair. And who is going to be the producer? Yes, Blair. And who is our consumer? I mean our producer?
Me.
Who? Speak your name.
Shami.
Okay, let's start. Consumer, what do you want?
I want cheap to buy.
Okay. Producer? Producer, you need to speak loud.
Cheap to produce.
Yes. Consumer.
Easy to learn.
Producer.
Well-defined behavior.
Okay. Consumer.
Easy to use.
Producer, for you, what do you want?
Easy to sell.
Okay. Consumer, what else do you want?
Solves the problem.
And then the producer.
Easy to maintain.
Okay. Consumer. Consumer.
Reliable.
Okay. Producer.
Reliable.
Okay. You see those common features. Consumer. Consumer.
Powerful.
Powerful. Then producer.
Easy to use.
Consumer. Come again.
Fast.
Then to the producer.
Flexible.
Consumer again.
Flexible.
Consumer again.
Flexible.
Yes, another one that you want as a consumer.
Available.
And then for you, the producer, what do you want last?
Quick to produce.
Quick produce. So you see, almost the producer and the consumer are meeting both needs. So, and basically, the producer works on the consumer wants. Are we together?
Yes.
The producer must work on what the consumer wants. Otherwise, the producer will remain with his product. That's why he has to make sure that the software he's producing is cheap to produce, will not put much costs. Otherwise, when you use much costs to make a software, it will be too expensive for most of the clients to afford. Then, well-defined behavior. That means that it must have a good user interface or appropriate interface so that it is easy to learn. It is easy to learn. And then, whereas the producer is saying, I want it to be easy to sell, I want to get many people, make sure that the consumer can easily use your software. That's when you will be able to sell. When the producer says, I want to easily maintain my system, make sure that your system can solve the other consumer's problem. And all of them are always looking at the reliability. Is my system reliable? Consumers won't complain? Yes. Then the consumer will come and buy your software. So the producer is also making sure that the system is easy to use. It is flexible. Flexibility, that means that you can use it at any time, and then you can as well customize it and the rest. So if the consumer comes and say, please, I want this kind of software, don't spend 2 years that I'm still producing the software. Are you making a COVID vaccine? Make sure it is quick to produce. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what can be considered to obtain a software program? There are some considerations one must consider to obtain a software program. So I would request those members, especially those who haven't those who haven't spoken, I can have others to speak. Who is going to read for us? Kapuz, can you read for us? Kapuz? Okay, can we have a volunteer taking us through this? Others are too quiet.
User friendliness. Maminga, wadi wali kutanka.
Yes, Elton, you can take us through.
What can be considered to obtain a software program? User friendliness. The software easy to use by users from the intended audience. Adaptability. How difficult is it to modify the software to adjust an ever-changing world? Efficiency. Does the software make good use of its resources? Memory disk, CPU, network. Portability. Can the software to easily portably moved to other operating? Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Those are some of the considerations for one to obtain a software program. So for us, we are here studying, but we are aiming at also being programmers and the rest. So as you also obtain a program for your gadget, can be for your phone, for your computer, you need to consider these factors. User friendliness, can most users use it? You need to consider user friendliness. Can many people use this software? Or if I'm making it for the school, will the students use it comfortably? That is the user friendliness. Then adaptability. How difficult is it to modify the software to adjust to an ever-changing world? Like, as I said, if you make a software, make sure one can easily customize it. If the client is asking to add something, can you adjust? That's what we are meaning adaptability. Then efficiency. Does the software make good use of its resources? At times you install a software on your phone, on your computer, you find that it is taking up much space than it was supposed to use. Because of maybe too much updates, it downloads even unnecessary programs. And maybe some programs, you find that they are not faster on the network. Some programs, you find that they are making the CPU heat, and maybe the fan is running very fast. That is to do with efficiency. Then portability. Can the software easily be moved to other operating systems, or for you have developed a program that will only work on Windows? So you need to mind about using the software on various operating systems. Someone else take us through this. You can start reading if you're there.
What can be considered to obtain a software program? Security. Does the software protect the information it is responsible for? Reassurability. Can parts of the software be easily reused to build other software systems? Interoperability. Does the software interface with other software systems? Correctness. Does the software do what it is supposed to do? In brackets, according to the design specs. Robustness. How does the software respond to unexpected conditions? In brackets, from input.
Okay, so here we are still looking at the what can be considered to obtain a software program? Security. Most people, when they are buying software programs, they are always mindful of security. Does that software protect the information that I will store it? If I am capturing students' fees, if I'm capturing students' vital information, will it expose it to all the people? So you need to look at the security. How best is this system in protecting my information or the company's information? Otherwise, banks would be losing lots of money if the softwares they use have no security. You get that point? Everyone would hack and steal banks. So security is very important in any software you want to obtain. Is that clear, colleagues?
Yes, sir.
Then reusability. Can parts of the software be easily used to build other system programs? So you find that when you develop a software, the source code that you saw in the other video, some of the source codes can be used to develop other systems or other programs. For example, you can see Microsoft has developed Windows for computers. It has also developed Windows for phones and other programs that we are using to do programming. Then interoperability. Does the software interface with other software systems? Does it interfere with other software systems? Okay, so here we are looking at in a situation where you find that you install a software and then it makes others freeze, or when you open other programs, it says not responding, and you find that it is the only software that is working on that machine. That means that that software cannot work with other programs, and you shouldn't buy such a software or don't consider obtaining it. Correctness. Does the software do what it is supposed to do according to the designed specifications? If you say that it is going to calculate maybe discounts in a supermarket, and then you find that the discounts are really wrong, that means that it lacks the correctness in it. So that characteristic must be considered. Then robustness. How does the software respond to unexpected condition? For example, if I was saving and accidentally I click a wrong button, will the computer make noise alerting me, or it will just shut down and I will not see that I made a mistake? That's what we mean here. How the computer has responded, or how your program has responded to such wrong input. Okay, continue to the next slide. So do we have some questions before I proceed? Any questions, colleagues? No. Okay, so our lesson is going to an end. I wanted to tell you some of our products, as I told you at the beginning. These lessons are brought to you by Yaaka Digital Learning Network. We have services like online classes. If you want to continue with us, you keep studying, and the rest you can pay online, and your fee is 500,000. It includes teacher-student interaction, where we have such classes. We shall give you a course. The course is on the website yaaka.cc, where you let's say you start on computer senior 2, computer senior 3. We mark your assignments. When you do them, we grade them for a full year online. We are taking you through your course. So if you can't afford online for a full year, we have, you can download a single subject is 10,000. All subjects, let's say you are in primary, is for 30,000. Now for you are in second and you would like all subjects of senior 2, that is 50,000. But if the downloads and online learning is difficult for you or the downloads won't help you, we also have Educare. Educare, you have 2 days free access to read all the materials you want. But here you don't have teacher interaction. You are reading at your own pace. You can pay 20,000 and read for a month. You can pay 50,000 and read for 3 months. That is quarterly. You can pay 70,000 and read for a half year, that is 6 months. Or you pay 100,000 and read for a full year. You can access Yaaka services and the rest at yaaka.cc or at educare.bz. Any question?
No.
Okay, so see you in other lessons. I remain Kakuru Benard. Have a good evening.
Teacher,
Yes, can ask.
will we,
Yes,
they are hacking in computer.
come again. Speak loud.
Is it possible for us to learn computer hacking?
Computer hacking is not taught, but when you study computer deep, those are like the behaviors people of computer learn. They are not good behaviors. So hacking is not taught anywhere, but when you study computer in depth, you do software engineering, you do all those courses in computer, then if you feel that you want to do that as your career, you will end up there. But for now, for us, we teach you the right path to earn money, not cheating people. Okay? Any other question?
Okay. Sir.
Yes?
Sir. Yes.
Mm.
Learn. When shall we start to learn how to create our own software?
This is a topic that is normally taught in senior 3 and senior 4, depending on how fast your teachers are. So if someone can continue with us, you will learn all these, how to do them. Okay? Yes, I can still entertain more questions, no problem.
Yes, sir.
Any other person?
It's okay.
It's okay? I'm still waiting for other questions in case they are there. I can show you a simple application program that you can use. I will share screen shortly once it is ready. Be patient for a while. Yes, Elton, your hand is up.
My question is,
So
that 500,000
yes.
is still subscribed or paid on the website?
So this 500,000, yes, you can pay from the website by mobile money, or you pay money, we add you to the course, and then you start accessing it, plus the teacher's interaction immediately.
Okay.
Yes. Any other question? Any other question? I'm still here. We can keep discussing slowly. We still have our time. So meanwhile, I say that we are going to see some programs, a few apps that we can start on. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So you see such kind of a program. It is an app that we developed in one of the lessons that we had. So here, this is a simple calculator. which you develop. When I put maybe 23 times, maybe I put 23 and maybe 6. When I multiply, I get 138. When I add these two numbers, I get 29. When I get 23 divided by 6, I get this. And when I get this minus this, I get that. See that kind of program?
Yes.
Let me share another one. I can share another program. This one is for grading students. For example, if in BOT you got 70, in midterm you got 60, and in end of term you have got maybe 68, and you say check results. It says total you have this, average is this, you have been promoted. Let's say, for example, in BOT you had 40, in midterm you had 35, and in end of term you had 70. Check results. Total is this, average is this, student is dismissed. Let's say you had 50, 52, and maybe 55. Check results. Total is this, average is this, student should repeat. So now, instead of using this X to close, I can use this to close the application. You get that? So that is a software. So as time goes on, we shall learn how to develop such apps. Any question? No? Okay, if we are together, I still thank you for attending this lesson. Catch you in other lessons. Bye-bye.